But my Jeep's not clean. What are you doing down here?
Just making a video. And now you're in it. Appreciate that.
Just leave you to it.
Yeah, see you later. So anyways, that's what it's like having a girlfriend. So back to the video where we're gonna be working on, we're not working on this, boys. We're working on the Jeep. It's behind that wall. We're gonna install one of my favorite company's products, NEMISIS Industries bumpers. But first, we gotta get this out of the way. I can't work outside anymore, it's wintertime. I've gotta make room for this and my Jeep in this one small basement shop. So let's start shuffling things around and see if we can cram it all in here. All right, so got it out of the way. Now we gotta get that up and see if we can get the Jeep in here. And then hopefully I can use this same space when I put the lift in. I think with the stock tires, I'll be able to get it up high enough to do all the welding and everything and still be able to get it in and out. Fingers crossed. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to rent a shop from someone. And I don't want to do that. Unless any of you guys got a shop, you guys want to lend it to me, it's tall enough for me to get my Jeep into, hit me up in the DMs. Let's do it. Well, that's what I was afraid of. That's what I was afraid of. Granted, I can still swing this up a little bit more. But, real close here. So maybe if I put the top down, it's gonna be real tight. All right, let me play around with this a little bit here. I pulled it out, put the top down. I raised that up a little bit, started backing it in. It's real tight. Whew, she's real tight. That's what she said. Okay, she's in. All right, so she's in, kind of. I can come further back, but I'm gonna leave her right there for now. So we'll do the rear bumper first, and then I think I'll just do this all over again, pull it out, pull it back in, do the front bumper. That way we'll have room to work, we'll have lighting, all that sort of thing. When it comes time to do the lift, oh man, I don't know. You can see it's, I got room to go that way for sure. And, you know, it's just a 3-inch lift. So I think we might be able to get it. I mean, that door thing can go up a little bit more. And then maybe if I deflate the tires, or even if I have to, I could take the wheels off and put it on jacks and tow it out. But it might work in here. Got plenty of room to work, you know? Got room there, got room here, got room over here. So yeah, so let's get cranking on this. I gotta get that license plate off. I'm gonna paint this rear frame section, I think, before I put the bumper on. So I'll get that cleaned up, get the Jeep really well taped off because I don't want to get any overspray on that fresh green paint. And we'll go from there. So let's do it. All right, boys, got it all painted. Now we gotta install these. What are these, you might ask? This is a very hefty piece of American-made steel because the bumpers are aluminum. So if you want to tow out, these basically just slide in there like so. Powder coat makes it a little thick. And then the bolts go through that. That holds that to the frame. Bumper will go over that. And then in the unlikely case I have to get pulled out of something, that's what that's for. Yeah, let's do it.
spoiler alert, paint wasn't dry, so I'm heating it up. But while we wait, okay, so now you can see these hooks sticking through, give the classic force motoring little orange accent there. That's force motoring orange if you guys are asking. So now what we got to do is get some bolts to go through the bumper, through this support here, and then on the inside a nut and a washer. So there's 4 of those in total, and those holes are slotted a little bit so you can adjust how the bumper sits. So let's get those on, and yeah, keep trucking here. Okay, so what you want to do is you take this bolt here. This comes with the bumper. You put the flat washer on this side, okay? And then if you get these hooks powder coated another color, it kind of helps because that way you can see the bright orange popping through there. Pro tip. Totally plan that too. So take this first one, you go in here, and you can kind of wiggle the hook around a little bit to get it to go through, and that'll go through to the back side of the frame. So that goes through the bumper, through the hook, and to the other side of the frame. So you put that one in there, and those are back there. Then what you do is, so you're still able to slide the bumper in and out to get it to where you want it to be. Now these 2 holes here go to factory holes that are threaded. So you take the factory bolts, and usually you just gotta tilt this down a little bit, and you want to just get these started. The nice thing is the bumper is actually slotted, so you can still move back and forth. So you just get those in there, and then I like to snug them down a little bit, but still, so you can still move the bumper back and forth. That way you just know that nothing's gonna fall out. So then you do the adjustments with the bumper, how you want it, up, down, back, forth, whatever you need, and then you can basically start tightening stuff down. So let's do that real quick. Once you've got these snug down, and you've got these bolts that go through the frame in place, you need to take this backing plate here, okay? That's what it looks like. Now this is going to be pretty much impossible to show on camera. What happens is this goes on the inside of the frame, and one of these, this front bolt here, it's real easy, okay? But what you have to do is where this gap goes, it slides through this little gap in the frame, you'll turn it sideways, and you'll thread those bolts into it. And then that'll basically lock both those in, so you don't need to use a wrench on the inside. You can just tighten down these bolts here. So I'm gonna get that slid up there, tighten these suckers down, do the same to the other side, and then that part will be done. So sneak that into the frame. Once you've gotten those side plates tightened up, that's done. Then you move on to these bolts here. Now these bolts here, they go on the bottom of the bumper, right into this hole right here. Okay, so they sit flat in there, but you have to drill some holes. Now, to do this, you want to get a center punch like this. Basically, this is actually a transfer punch. Center punch works too, but transfer punch is nice because it fits into the hole perfectly. You punch it, you mark it. Then you want to take a pilot hole and drill that out. Okay, and then from there, you move up to a bigger drill bit, like so, and you drill that out. And then on top of that, you got a nut and a washer. And
you basically just stick a wrench in there, tighten it down. So let's get going on that right now. You're gonna need this and a hammer. Perfect. Okay, safety first here, boys. Okay, line up the center punch. Then you move to the bigger drill bit, and you're gonna have to drill through both sides of this box tubing. So you drill through the first one, and then drill through the second one. Make sure you're straight here. Sink the bolt up through, and then on the top side, classic. Put the washer and the nut on. You kind of got to sneak your hand in there. All right, and then you do the same to the other side. And then the bumper is on. So there's the rear bumper on. I know it looks a little weird with these tiny tires, but fits up the body really nice. You have these awesome little tow hook accents. So these holes here, you can have NEMISIS cut these out custom for you, and these fit a pair of Baja Design backup lights that flush mount in there perfectly. So I'm still waiting on those, like many things during this crazy world we live in. It takes forever to get, so waiting for those. So now we got to do something about this right here. I wasn't sure if I'm going to run a spare tire or not, so for the meantime I had a Genrite spare tire delete plate laying around, so I figured we'll throw that on there. I'll be able to put my license plate on that, have it look a lot better. So let's get that going. All right, so here is that plate carrier delete by Genrite. I opted for the add-on third brake light and the license plate light. So this will just run through the door. I'll get that wired up, and then I'll have a little brake light here and a little LED light here that shines on the light. This is the same light that's on Natalie's tire carrier. So it is missing some bolts. It only came with 4. These go in here. There is actually 8. I don't know what's up with that. It came with these nuts here, which are obviously like a showier nut. I guess that maybe. Okay, all right. Maybe that goes like that, I guess. So you have a regular nut, and then this goes on there. I guess kind of looks lame, but I just wish that these bolts here were a little bit shorter, but I don't know. Maybe they know something I don't. So that goes on there like so, I guess. Okay, so yeah, we'll get this thing bolted up here. Okay, so there is that. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it, like I said, but I think for now it looks good. I'll have to get 4 more bolts, and then I will wire that in, but I'm gonna do that off camera. It's super easy. It's just 2 wires, come with butt connectors. You just cut the third brake light connector that was originally there, just splice that in, super easy. All right, boys, so that's the rear bumper. Now I'm gonna get this thing flipped around and we'll start on the front. All right, boys, let's get this ugly plastic piece of factory junk off. Let's go. Okay, so now that we got the factory bumper off, we got to relocate this little bad boy up somewhere in here. So also we're gonna have to cut this off. So I'm gonna get the grill off, get the hood up, The NEMISIS bumper does come with a nice little aluminum bracket to relocate that, which is nice because you don't have to paint it. So we'll get that going. Okay, so now that we got the vacuum pump out of there, we need to cut that bracket off. So chop chop, don't forget your PPE. Your PPE, baby. Let me show you what I did here. There was a plate that wrapped around here, came up and held the vacuum pump. In the instructions it says this, cut it off like this, but pretty much on every single one of these winch plates that goes in between these two frame rails, it's always super tight. Like I've always had to grind a little here or grind some on the bracket itself. So what I did was I just cut here, ground it all smooth. That wasn't a structural piece whatsoever. So now hopefully this will slide through there no problem. Yep, absolutely. Perfect. Okay guys, so now that the paint is all dry, let's get this back up on there. Okay. So now we gotta take these little things here and they slide on to these holes on the bumper. There's 6 of them. And you gotta kind of just tap these suckers in. Okay, so now it's time for one of the trickier parts of this install. So you want to take this bolt, nut and washer, and you got a washer on this side as well. And from inside the frame, so right in here, that slides through, no problem, that's easy. Now, the tricky part is you need to get this washer and this nut up inside of here. So usually what I can do is I can reach up through and kind of just stick this on there, and then I'll show you how to get the nut on afterwards. There are a couple little holes usually you can stick your fingers in, pun intended, and kind of make this happen. It is awkward, and I'm sure you guys can't see what's going on, and this will take me a couple tries, so bear with me here. All right, boys, next thing is installing the tow hooks. This comes with new hardware. These basically go into the factory bumper locations. So yeah, then you just tighten these bad boys down. Okay, so the next step is to get the vacuum pump relocated. There's 2 little holes on the back side of the winch plate, and then they provide these bolts. This is also slotted, so you have some adjustment. But this basically just goes in there like so. And this is at an angle so that the vacuum pump clears. All right, boys. We got the vacuum pump relocated, brackets on. Let's get the grill back on, and then we can put the bumper on. All right, boys. The moment we've all been waiting for, the front bumper. Now, one of the things I want to address is this is aluminum. It is very, very light. But people are like, oh, aluminum's not strong. Well, there is steel in here. There's just not as much steel as having all of this made of steel. So you still have all of this doing all the grunt work. So don't be freaked out by aluminum. Aluminum is awesome. It saves you a lot of weight, or saves you power and fuel economy. All right, so now we got 6 bolts up top here, 2 in the bottom, and then we'll put this faceplate on. I don't have a winch to go in here yet, so still trying to figure out what winch I want to use, if I want to go with the Evo or the Xenon. It's going to be a Warren either way, but I don't know if I want to spend the money on a Xenon. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Is the Xenon worth it? $2,300 bucks, a lot of money. But anyway, no winch right now, so we'll get this bolted on, get this plate on, and we'll be done. Let's do it. Okay, and then those last 2 bolts, they go up through, and there's a nut and a washer on the top side. Now, pro tip, especially if you're by yourself, take a piece of tape, and once you get the bolt up in the hole, tape the head of it to the bumper so it won't fall out. Okay, so just a little piece of tape like this, stick it on there like so. The hole and tape it. That way they'll stay up there. You can then do the awful job of finagling the nut and washer onto the bolt without the bolt falling off. So I'll get those done, and then we're done, boys. All right, boys, that's gonna do it for the Nemesis rear front bumper, rear bumper install. They came out awesome. The Jeep is looking so good, minus the small tire boy tires, but yeah, she looks awesome. So I was gonna pull it out for you guys and show you, but it's pouring rain and I don't have any side panels, so she's gonna stay right here for now. I was actually contemplating what to do next. Should I do the lift next, which is gonna be, like I said, real tricky in here because of these pipes, or should I do the rear deck next? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, boys, thank you. Subscribe if you want to see this thing sitting on 40s, because it's coming real soon. So, till the next one.